Hey, this is Keith with How to Build Your Own Home. I wanted to walk you through where we are with this restoration project. This is a very, very old building. It was basically a pioneer home, wood on dirt, literally on dirt. There was really no foundation. There was a couple of big rocks on the corners where the foundation was sitting, but most of it was just right on dirt. So it was either save it or it was going to, go into the dustbin over time. So I'm very, very happy to save it. I'm going to walk you through where we are today, what's going to happen today. I'm very excited because we're that close to start reframing and rebuilding the structure, and that's what I'm excited about. Let's go in and look at the foundation, look at the footings, where we are, how far we've gotten, and why we're doing some of the things we're doing. And again, I'm just a builder showing you what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Either a new construction, a remodel, or a major surgical operation. This is a major surgical operation. Let's go in and see where we are. Okay, here's one of the things that I'm trying to solve on this job. Again, we're in the high mountains. We're up against the mountain. We've always got water coming down the mountain. We even have a spring behind the home. So I'm trying to solve for any unforeseen things down the road. So we've got this perforated pipe right here, and that runs through here, runs underneath this footing, and it runs into the home and along the outside of the footing of the entire home, especially on this side. This is where I'm most concerned. And it runs behind the back of the stem wall all the way through the side of the house. So if there is heavy water or a need for percolation, it has a place to go, and it's just going to daylight right here at the base of this footing and come out that way. I didn't have to do that, but I saw how much water we dealt with when we dug into that back corner over there. It was really moist, and that's where most of the rot in the foundation of the wood was. And so let's just solve for some of that if we can with this perforated pipe. Let's go down here on this footing, and something I want to show you. Okay, whenever you're doing a porch and that porch is connected to the home foundation, you really want to have it properly connected. So if you see, I have some sticks of rebar here, some number 4 rebar, and I've actually got it drilled right into the base of the foundation, right over this area, so that we're tying this footing, which is part of the porch, right into the footing of the home. We're going to go inside, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, we're on the inside here, and where that rebar was coming into that foundation, it's actually coming right into this stem wall, but in the base of the footing right in there. So we're tying the porch to the foundation, the new foundation of the home inside here. So that keeps things locked together. It's a real good precautionary thing. I've seen people pour slabs or even a stem wall just for a porch, and they don't connect it to the main structure. And over time it can settle, and you can see that settling away from the home. We've got a lot of moisture up here. We can have up to 6 feet of snow outside. So we're trying to solve for that as much as we possibly can. Inside here, you see we poured a ton of concrete to encase this fireplace. Now the floor is going to come up to right about here. So we can either stain this or we can do a lot of things. But at the last minute, we found a piece of concrete outside on the old porch from 1945, and it looks like a little person's handprint. So I said, let's just do something fun, and I made an executive call, and the clients were okay with that. But we encased that handprint to save some of the original memory of the home here in the fireplace. This will all be repointed and redone, and you can see there's not much of a flue in this fireplace. They didn't really have a proper ventilation, so down the road, if they ever wanted to do something, they could put a flue in there. They'd have to redo a new one and put a wood-burning fireplace out here. But I wouldn't reuse this as a fireplace. It's just not got enough backdraft to take the smoke up and out. But we'll make it and restore it. There's a whole feature, a wood feature that we pulled off. It's leaning against a tree out there. And we'll insert this back on here and restore the original look of the fireplace. But a lot of concrete to shore that fireplace up. It's not going anywhere now, so we're happy about that. Okay, we're on the other side of the house. We did a stem wall with a footing in the middle of the house, and so we'll have floor joists coming from the far back to the middle and the ones will rest here, and we'll have another floor joist that will set side by side here and shoot north, capture the north wall, and go all the way out to the porch and capture the porch. So this whole thing's going to be really tied together really nicely. But I wanted to explain this little event situation. I made a call real quick, and because this stem wall and this stem wall all the way around here is encased in earth on the outside. So there's no way to vent inside this section of the home. So we put 3 of these along the wall here. I told them to bust out one so we could show it in the video, but the other 2 they've got to find, and they'll bust those out. But this will allow for air to move from here to the other room and from out front all the way in. Again, one of the reasons why Pioneer homes really lasted for such a long time is they were so darn drafty. They were constantly drying off. And there's a lot of timbers in this building that are still good because air was constantly moving over that timber. Some of the timber wasn't good, and it was just completely rotted out because it was encased in moisture, and so it never was able to dry out. So if you can eliminate the moisture and then at least help ventilate and keep things moved out, that's going to be a real plus. Now what I'm going to do also is over here, there's going to be a kitchen here, just a little kitchenette, but I'm actually going to put a small little vent underneath the cabinets right here where the kitchen is, and it's going to be maybe 6 inches for additional airflow through the building, through the stem wall, and through. The more I can keep that airflow going, the longer this home is going to last. And that's what a lot of Pioneer homes did. I have that in my home where I didn't even know what that was until I pulled up the cabinets and I saw a little vent there, and it had some wire mesh on it to keep the critters out, of course, and that helped move air around the building. So we're going to do that here. But we are going to insulate the floor here with rock wool, semi-rigid, semi-rigid rock wool, and that's going to be underneath the floor here, about 2.5 inches. Again, we're trying to maintain the preservation and the utility of this home on its draftiness, but not seal it up like modern homes. I do that, I'm going to run into some problems on this home. I've got some old timbers throughout that if I start to try to seal this up like I would a modern home, I'd have some problems. So we're going to try to maintain the original way they built, but of course with a better foundation. That's the real nuts and bolts of this home, is a completely new, better foundation. Let's go outside. One thing I've been thinking about, and I'd like to see your thoughts on this, but I've got this wall right here, and I've got dirt right along here. If you can see that, there's some of the concrete that got poured up there, and I've got dirt here. Well, my floor joist is going to come right here and rest, and my floor is going to be this high. So I've got to find a way to seal this off, and I may just insert massive rigid foam in here as a way to seal that off, because I don't need any water or any damage to the structure. So once we get a floor in here, just before we put the sheeting on, I may just foam that entire section in there. If you have some better ideas, let me know. I may even do some flashing down there, but I thought some closed cell rigid foam would be just fine in there, and I fill all that in before we put the flooring in. Because this floor here has a subtle slope into the home. I've got a shed roof over here, kind of a lean-to shed that's keeping weather and inclement weather out. And we may even raise that floor just a little bit just to get a lip so we can keep some weather out. But I didn't see any rot here, too much rot. So there's some solid timbers here still. Those will all come out, and we just sprayed in with spray foam. Let's go outside and I'll show you what we're doing outside. Okay, I've also got some old posts here. These are just regular 4x4 posts with a kind of a saddle here at the bottom. We're actually going to cut those out. We're going to dig down about 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet. But I want it to flare out. So as they cut the concrete out, they're going to dig down and they're going to flare out. So I want the base of this post as wide as I possibly can make it. And then they're going to pour it with new concrete. And then we're going to insert a new saddle in here. And it's going to go right in there, and it will hold the post for the roof up above. We're going to put a whole new roof on here. So we're going to do that here in 3 locations here. This one's already got a foundation on it that we'll actually take care of. And then over here, We're doing a kind of a barrier, a concrete barrier to redirect water away from the home because it comes off this hill, and we notice so much water down below there. If we can actually stop some of that, we're doing a 1 foot wall, kind of a small little foundation retainage wall all along the exterior perimeter of the home. We're going to do one over on the other side as well. And then we're going to, when I come back in the spring, if we can't get it done this winter, we'll come back in the spring. We can grade all this out, really smooth it out. And I'm thinking there's one or two things I could do on the inside perimeter of here. I could either make it gravel, which is really what I'm thinking about doing, because I want perforation, I want percolation, because snow will hit against the back of this home. It's got to have a place to go. I don't want it to drain into the home. I just want it to go vertically straight down. So we may do some white gravel, some pea gravel. I don't know yet. I'll talk with the clients on that to see what we can do along here. Once we get it all framed, all redone, how they want to, we can skirt it with concrete, or we can end up just putting some gravel out there. But this here barrier is going to help retain water away from the hill that would come into the home. We'll do it on the other side over there. So excited. We're getting really, really close. We're going to pour this today at 11 o'clock. Cement truck's on the way. And then they're going to start to form immediately later on this afternoon the stem wall part on the porch up front. And once that's formed, and the last wall on the other side, and these pylons that are cut out and poured, my framer, if I can con him into it, just get up here on Monday and really move at it, because we've got the rest of November right now to really hammer this out. So I'm excited. If I can do this and get it all sealed up and dried in, we're going to go ahead and do ice and water shield on the roof. Once we pull the roof off, we're just going to do ice and water real quick, because if weather starts to turn, at least we have the complete roof protected in the event that we can't get the roofing product on there right away. So I've got that ordered. It's going to be up here. As soon as they sheet, we're just going to roll it on. Hopefully it's a warm day, because that ice and water can seal. It's got a peel and stick product to it. Hopefully that'll work out for us. So excited. What's going to happen here in the next couple of weeks is pretty insane. But a remodel, a major surgical operation like this is really timely. It takes one step after another step after another step. I got to support that so I can do this. I have to pull that out so I can do this. It's not easy. Remodels take a lot more time to plan, think about, but they're fun. I don't know why. I have more fun restoring old homes and making them last longer than the original builder than I do just about anything, because it's a preservation thing. It's historical preservation. I really love that, especially the structural side, and making sure this home's not going anywhere for the next 150 years. So that's what I'm excited about. So we'll tune in again with my concrete guys here. He's wanting me to back up. Cement's coming. We'll tune in again and check on this process here next week. It's going to be some big changes. This is Keith with How to Build Your Own Home. You guys take care.